First foremost, I want no further conflict with him.
You tell him from me that he can live or he can die.
Vincent, will you shut up?
Failure is relative, isn't it? Sometimes there's things, when Scarface first came out, it was a failure.
Do you remember Michael Corleone from The Godfather? The quiet one, the smart one, the one who sat in the corner of the wedding and changed the whole world with a stare. That was Al Pacino. That is Al Pacino. But now, at 84 years old, he's not living the way you'd expect a legend to live. Not even close. In 2020, something terrifying happened. Al Pacino's heart stopped beating. For a few minutes, he was gone. Paramedics worked hard and brought him back. But something inside him changed that day. He came back different, and his life has never been the same. He's the man who gave us Scarface, Scent of a Woman, Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, a master of acting. A Hollywood king. But now, he's a man living in shadows, barely recognized on the streets he once owned. What happened to Al Pacino? Let's go back to the beginning. Al was born on April 25, 1940, in East Harlem, New York City. His parents were Sicilian immigrants trying to make a better life in America. But that dream fell apart quickly. When Al was just 2, his father walked away, moved to California, never looked back. His mom, Rosa, was left alone, raising little Al with help from her parents in the South Bronx. Life there was not easy. The streets were rough. Money was always tight. And the pain of not having a father haunted him. But one thing brought him joy: movies. His mother loved taking him to the theater. It was their escape. A dark room, a big screen, and stories that made the world feel bigger, safer, more beautiful. That's when he fell in love with acting. He didn't understand it yet, but something deep inside him lit up. As he got older, life got harder. By age 9, he was smoking. By 13, he was drinking and trying drugs. He didn't care about school. He got into fights, skipped class, broke rules. He was expelled from several schools before getting into the High School of Performing Arts. But even there, he didn't last. At 17, after a fight with his mother, Al dropped out of school. No diploma, no plan, no money. He hung out with other kids who were also lost. Some were doing drugs, some were getting arrested, and some, like his friends Cliffy, Bruce, and P.Y., didn't make it out. They died from overdoses. Al could have ended up just like them. But he had one thing they didn't: acting. He threw himself into it, took every small role he could, worked as a janitor, a busboy, a messenger, anything to afford acting classes. He was so broke, he slept on friends' couches. Sometimes, he even slept in theaters, just so he could be close to what he loved. Then came more pain. When Al was just 22, his mother died. She was only 43. Depression had taken its toll on her. Al was devastated. Just a year later, his grandfather passed away too. Within 1 year, the 2 people who raised him were gone. He was alone. Completely. In his memoir Sonny Boy, he wrote, "If I'm lucky enough, maybe I'll see my mom again. All I want is to walk up to her and say, 'Hey Ma, look what happened to me.'" That pain pushed him even deeper into acting. And slowly, things began to change. In 1968, he got his first big break in a play called The Indian Wants the Bronx. His performance was raw, real, and unforgettable. That role led him to meet Martin Bregman, the man who would become his manager and change his life forever. In 1969, he made his Broadway debut in Does a Tiger Wear a Necktie? The play wasn't a big hit, but Al's performance blew people away. He won a Tony Award. He was just 29. He trained under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio, one of the best acting schools in the world. There, he learned how to use his real emotions in his roles. He learned how to act with truth. And then came The Godfather. In 1972, Al Pacino played Michael Corleone. Today, it's seen as one of the greatest performances in movie history. But back then, it was a battle just to get him cast. The studio didn't want him. They said he was too short, too unknown. But director Francis Ford Coppola believed in him. Even after filming began, the studio wanted him fired. But then they saw that scene, the restaurant assassination scene, and everything changed. Suddenly, they saw what Coppola had seen all along. Al Pacino wasn't just acting. He was Michael Corleone. That role changed his life. But it also put more pressure on him than he'd ever felt. He even got injured during filming, and needed painkillers just to keep going. He later said part of him wanted to get fired just so the stress would stop. But he didn't give up. In 1973, he starred in Serpico, playing a real-life cop who stood up to police corruption. In 1983, he became Tony Montana in Scarface, a role that's now iconic. At the time, critics hated it. They said it was too violent, too crazy, but fans loved it. He was a superstar, rich, famous, loved. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. He never married. His longest relationships ended in heartbreak. He once said marriage was the pain train and didn't want to get on it. Diane Keaton, one of the loves of his life, gave him a choice: commit or it's over. He didn't commit. She walked away. In 2001, he became a dad to twins with Beverly D'Angelo. In 2023, at 83 years old, he became a father again, this time to a baby boy named Roman. The mother, Nur al-Fala, was 29. People couldn't believe it. Even Pacino couldn't believe it. He asked for a paternity test. It came back positive. And just like that, he had a fourth child. But even with children, Pacino admits he feels lonely. Maybe that's why he still works, because acting is the one place where he still feels alive. In 2011, his world crumbled again. He found out he'd lost $50 million. His accountant, someone he trusted for years, had been stealing from him, running a Ponzi scheme. Pacino went from being one of Hollywood's richest stars to broke. To recover, he took roles he didn't love. He did commercials. He even acted in Jack and Jill, a movie he later said he did just for the paycheck. He felt humiliated, but he had no choice. He had to survive. In 2020, he almost died. His heart stopped. For minutes, there was no pulse. When he came back, he said he didn't see any light. No heaven, no tunnel, just darkness. That moment made him believe there's nothing after death. It changed how he looks at life. At 84, Al Pacino doesn't go to parties. He doesn't chase fame. He lives quietly. He FaceTimes the sun, plays harmonica, reads, reflects. Sometimes, he visits the actor's studio, where he helps young actors find their voice, just like he once did. He's still working, because he has to, but also because acting is the only thing that still gives him purpose. He's not living in a mansion full of laughter. He's not surrounded by friends and family every day. He's not resting on fame. He's just living, quietly, alone, like a man who gave everything to the world and now watches it all from the sidelines. He once said, "Acting saved my life." And maybe it still is. If you've made it this far, thank you for spending this time with A.L.'s story. It's not just about movies. It's about pain, survival, and the price of greatness. So, if this video moved you, please like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more true stories that deserve to be told. We'll see you in the next one.